Skyscraper, it gets banned against them quite heavily. In fact, the most that we saw throughout the European League 4 Stage 2. And away we go. Elevate will be defending first up. The Montang ban, immediate. And it's good for us because it shows we've done our homework.
Yeah, we weren't expecting Elevate to play the Monty. And as expected in the meta, that then leads many teams to then banning it out. Followed up by the Ying, strong execute heavy operator, and it does critically mean that the Blitz has made it through.
Do you ban the Clash? I don't think Secret are a Clash team, but on a map like Skyscraper, something to consider. Immediate lock-in ban here by Elevate, and it will be the Kaid, so no funny business there. Now, in terms of the shield dynamics, when it comes to kind of like, especially a team like Secret, who will play both Blitz and Montang at the same time, so the Blitz will make it through. Do you pair the Blitz with the Fuse, or is that too aggressive in terms of shield play? Do you just go the Blitz?
I think a lot of that is going to hinge on the sort of defensive structure that Elevate are going to present, and whether or not Secret in response to that have issue on map entry. You can double down, but you're more than likely not going to get the added benefits of the actual cluster charges in most cases, just because of the primary rotation here on Skyscraper. So we'll see. I wouldn't completely rule it out. It depends what the game plan is, of course, from Secret. And at least on face value, not electing to pick the Blitz immediately here, even for the opening round. So that could be a divergence from what we have seen historically from them.
Alrighty, so phase 2 so far, the Montreal Major here for, day 3 officially. And Elevate making their first appearance, of course, as they got the allocated slot for the wider APAC region. This time it was their turn back in, of course, Manchester. The Oceanic region were able to get that slot where we saw Bliss at the time go straight to phase 2. Elevate, the beneficiaries this time, they were able to avoid phase 1 because of it. So it's the first time we're actually going to see them at the major, and sort of what to expect, guys, because they're not necessarily a team that we've seen a whole lot of at the international level. And obviously, for a lot of the international viewers, it's typically Bleed that we see more of.
Certainly an international squad in terms of composition, though, and the EU ideas that have been imported into Elevate have paid off in the long term. It wasn't the most successful stages, first stages for Elevate here in 2024, but they're able to more than make up to that here, which does throw the SI points into a bit of disarray for the Asia region, such as the nature of regions with only one slot at the respective majors.
Well, I mean, we've had a lot of border today, haven't we, in terms of encompassing the previous matches, and so the fast-paced style, especially when we had Falcons in play, and they were going rapid in their matchup against Arc Zero. Skyscraper should lean itself to being that more slower-paced style, and I'm expecting that full well, especially from a team like Secret. I don't think they're going to go rushing into the building, and I think that would actually maybe suit Elevate. Elevate right now will obviously try and maybe play those site locations. I don't expect super big branch outs on the road, maybe 1 or 2 players here or there, but largely, you know, you kind of look at where they're located, house, geisha, tea room. There's not too much. Expect certainly a contest towards that mezzanine. Elevate, I think, will look to try and play pretty nice, but then it's actually going to be speakeasy to get the opening kill onto Adrian. And he does so by going outside, so kind of contradicting immediately what I was saying, but I think that's exactly what you need. You need to have the confidence to go for those kind of plays, and you can clearly see Speakeasy anticipating, though, a little bit more, well, redemption on his entry back in, and indeed it did come through from Savage. 1 for 1. You do lose the smoke, but a second found through Ape.
The trade game, though, from Secret is keeping them in touch. It was just Doom in the building. The only sole player in the game was actually inside of the building itself, trying to gain information, maybe make plays on Vert from down below. The rest of the team isolated on the exterior, but now finding ground.
I feel like at that 3-3 minute to go, you maybe go back, play site, play the long angle, still hallway control for Enhaikal. Got to use the time now. Grenade thrown to deal with the deployable shield, running back down Black Stairs, so at least that's pretty decent from MC. Pressure back there onto Secret, still need to force their way in, but Virtue does so. He's found 2 already. And all onto Enhaikal. Still has the default up over towards the Mez, could fall back, play site, but well, he's lost so much ground. Completely out of position with the Vulcan canister blown up behind him, denies him entry back through the doorway. Plant will go down successfully inside a karaoke, and Secret will find themselves the opening round. Savage will get the kill just to ensure no shenanigans, but as soon as that plant goes down, that's pretty much job done. Secret, pretty decent round, all things considered. Very calculated attack from them.
Pretty trademark of European Siege, the ability to adapt on the fly. They did a really good job in shutting down Speakeasy after that jump out without having to take any risks necessarily, and they found that trade. And then immediately we saw the position replaced on Rappel, so there was a lot of pressure in through Karaoke, and then Elevate on the other side, not getting a lot of value from the backline positions that they were holding, and they got isolated, and Secret cut them off from returning back to side.
Yeah, I think Speakeasy, I like the play that he's made. You're playing a smoke, you're playing a backline operator, you need to be there at the end, stall out, deny positions, like stairs, but he did get a kill, so at the very least you can't, you know, be too harsh on him, too critical, but I would have liked maybe someone playing a different operator role to go for that kind of run out. Still good to see from Elevate, because sometimes you get to this event, you haven't played a game, you're going up against a team like Secret, and you think, well, let's just play backs to the wall, play site, play defensive, and I don't think that's the right mindset, the right approach. You need to be proactive. Elevate found success in the Asia League by being aggressive, by taking it up to teams like Bleed. And certainly showing decent signs of that in the opening round, but we are playing Skyscraper, and you need those defensive rounds. So I will be critical. If you allow Secret to get to 3 attacking rounds, this one is done. And to lose the opening round, not a good start. Looking to bounce back now as they go to Office and Exhibition in the second round, in which this should be far more site-orientated unless they want to extend over to Tea Room and Karaoke.
And perhaps this is your first time seeing Elevate play, if you are not a viewer of the Asia League.
Which you should be.
Which you should be. Funnily enough, Speakeasy actually the top-rated player on the team heading into this event, and a player with a lot of experience at the international level. A part of a pretty infamous run back in the Pro League finals of, let's say, season 10.
The other thing to note as well for Secret, they're the best attacking team in Europe. When you go and look at the statistics, close to 60%. So, I know it's Skyscraper, but I guess that sort of endears themselves as a top attacking team, that they will find these attacking rounds, but they do drop off a little bit on the defense. Not sure about contesting the breach here from Elevate. Very aggressive, but it does keep Secret on their toes. Savage playing the Rappel honestly could have found an opening pick. Speakeasy went for something, lost half his life for it. They are just trying to deal with the mirror window, well, actually failing to do so. It's still up. Jim finds a TK onto Adrian, but Savage at least answers back. 2 kills for Secret, but it's 4 versus 4.
One of the more unconventional team kills you'll see in Rainbow Six. But will it ultimately hurt Secret?
Well, Savage is out of charges here, and they haven't dealt with that mirror window.
No, I think it was cleared eventually.
I think it hit. Oh, maybe if there was a second one that followed up. There is, of course, one still up. You can see from the perspective of Doom, he's just made his way in. Vulcan canister does get popped. Had the yellow ping, couldn't land the shot. Zappe with the Vector. Not too bad in the push to come from MC. Anticipating the pressure from Secret, and Elevate go for the counterpunch, and it works pretty nicely. Through Drum for Virtue. Round still alive. Lots of low HP bodies here for Elevate, so certainly still doable. Just like that, Groovy as well finds one onto Shed, and it's a 2v2 with 40 seconds left.
And then Harkle now in an awkward position, went for that initial trade attempt, but now isolated prone. Groovy gets the call, and they may look to double down on this position. No flashbangs, though, to clear it. Does Virtue have a read?
He could go for a mezzanine flank. Indeed, he will, and he does find one, but at the same time, 2 for Secret, and that's better than 1.
Wow. Again,
that should have been a round win for Elevate. All the considerations of what went wrong in that round for Secret. A TK struggling with the breach, had to go for a secondary objective, and yet still Elevate, even with numbers, can't close that out, and that is not a good start for them.
Ultimately, the clear there under Enhykel actually quite clean. The air jab was actually able to find value, and while they didn't have the initial read, Enhykel again missed a kill opportunity. Very fine margins, small windows to find both of those kill attempts onto Virtue, but nonetheless, those small mistakes are going to compound massively against a team with the quality of Secret's pedigree. So a 2-0 lead then for the European squad, looking to now find success on the tertiary side. Elevate. We'll see if they can start to turn the tide.
I mean, 2 rounds in, and I feel like stylistically from Elevate, they haven't been completely awful. But you're in a completely different stratosphere when it comes to the opponent. And maybe back in Asia League, we'd be looking at Elevate as 2-0 up because they were able to close out some of these more, well, favored scenarios that they've been in. You know, opening kill in the first round. In the second round, you're up 3-2. You got good breach control. And Secret just better in those clutch situations. And in the end, it's a 2-0 start for Secret. can't allow any more, though. If you Elevate, you've got to start getting on a roll. Start getting these rounds. Start finding a way to get involved on the scoreboard. The rounds themselves have been great. They've been involved, and while it's a 2-0 lead for Secret, Elevate has certainly held their own, but an opening kill in this third one to begin, and Secret again. Well, this is also where it can start to fall apart pretty quickly if you Elevate. You're not getting scoreboard pressure. Yes, you've been able to contest in the rounds themselves, but you're just not able to put the scoreboard on, and well, Secret aren't going to be making mistakes like they did in that second round. 5-4. Now they kind of just pull back a little bit, probably expecting for Elevate to go for that counter punch that they have so far been able to do in the opening 2 rounds.
Virtue finding himself on a bit of a roll as well, up to 5 kills uncontested midway through this third round. Secret now looking to continue their progress on the map clear. And they've been somewhat successful in pushing Elevate back, who for the most part of this match have been willing to play backline positions, and it found mild success in the previous round, but towards the latter portion they did flounder. That ground, though, now immediately taken by Secret.
Oh, that's an intriguing peek, but he finds 2. And Haikal, I thought the slow crab peek might work against him, but to his favor, and suddenly Elevate 4v3. Flash, Groovy on 2 HP, and this is by far and away the best opportunity for Elevate to get on the board, and they must, with 60 seconds left, but Virtue 5-0. He's been so good in this game so far, especially in these scenarios. This is where Secret now go and find 2 kills from pretty much nothing. Knows he's one inside a Geisha, but unfortunately, his vision was blocked off. Elevate do get the round win. They do shut down Virtue, and they are on the board.
Yeah, the power of the Fenrir on display there, shutting down an opportunity for Virtue to find what was otherwise a favorable fight in through Geisha. You think about unlocking that position, how it could have then led T-Room, Karaoke to being quite vulnerable, and Secret may have been able to formulate a round-winning plan, but not meant to be. And so the tertiary will offer Elevate their first successful round.
A lot of that round, though, comes off the back of the double kill from Haikal over towards the mezzanine. How does
Can you explain to me how he slow peeked that and got 2 kills?
We're watching it from the opposite POV, and as he's like slow peeking around the corner, I'm like, he's dead. Yeah. He's just dead. It's being watched. And he finds 2, and you're just like, what? So Elevate on the board, and they needed that. A little sigh of relief. Okay, we're on fist bumps for the first time here at the Major. Again, it's their first official game. You know, they didn't get any best of 3s. You know, and I'll use Chiefs as an example. Like, if this was Chiefs' first matchup, you know, there's those land nerves, jitters, first game, you know, it's easy to drop it. They've already been able to play multiple best of 3s and get some really good experience here on land. We saw that probably come through. I don't think they beat Scars today if they hadn't have gotten the experience in Phase 1. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind with Elevate. But can they build throughout this game? They're going to certainly have to get a couple of these defensive rounds, though. I mean, they've got to at least get this to 4-2, which then is 3 in a row. 3-3, I'd almost give them as a pass mark from the position at a 0-2 start. Jim and Adrian yet to get on the board just yet. It's been the Virtue show so far for Secret in the opening couple of rounds.
Karaoke in play for the 4th round, and the Osa has been brought by Adrian. And so expect the attack to center something around backstairs, looking to isolate any positions that they can in gaining that ground, clear the staircase. They have this information towards Karaoke. This is eventually where they will likely want to get that plant down with the support of those Talon shields.
Gaspabe's going to be super important here from Speakeasy. He's got to keep himself alive, keep them up. Does throw one out early to be able to fall back, continue to play Black Stairs. And this position here is essentially, you've already got that deployable shield. You've got to be able to deny the Osa. Nice push up from MC. Gets the opening kill onto Groovy. Bit of help as well from Speakeasy. And with that, Elevate in a pretty good position. If you can deny that Osa from being able to get hallway control and getting that shield down, it's a big part of the round for Elevate and finding success. And the Osa is gone. And so too will Doom. And suddenly it's a 5 versus 2. Elevate have kept Secret out of the building and finding kills alongside it. Well, they are just slaughtering them here in the 4th round, and that might now mean an impromptu timeout from Secret. 5v1, over a minute. Savage, you may as well stay outside. And that is a really good round for Elevate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a bit of an unofficial timeout here, but it looks like Savage is going to go for an attempt in through Shrine. Unsuccessful, though, and a flawless round from Elevate. locking Secret out from the building.
I do wonder if they've thought about the way that they played the opening 2 rounds and how they've adjusted to that. We're seeing we haven't seen a run out. We haven't seen that sort of more aggressive roam. They're just playing sight. And that's worked in the previous 2 rounds. Can that continue to work? Hard to say.
I mean, we saw that small hint of aggression out towards the backstairs position, right? And that was what sort of
that's controlled though.
The
that's
round,
not
but
like,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't 100% or 99% chance that you're sacrificing your life for it. It was a calculated play off the back of utility and timing and coordination. And in the end, the dividends paid quite fruitfully there for Elevate. So a 2-2 scoreline now just makes this match a little bit more interesting.
Better.
Early days, but it just means that it's not going to be a complete blowout.
Exactly, and that's what I didn't really want. I'm going to be honest, when I saw this matchup, and I was thinking with the way the games have played so far at the major, you look at a lot of these scorelines, 8-7, 8-6, 7-4, 7-5. I was like, this is the one that on paper is like 7-2 to Secret. But and then the first 2 rounds play out, and I'm like, okay, here we
We've
go.
been here before.
Been here before. Elevate, though, have got to continue to lock in. 2 huge rounds coming up. They can get to 4-2. It's pretty decent. For Secret, well, they're going to kind of look at, okay, well, 2 rounds in a row, we've failed to really hit sight and start to get that control. We've done a lot better when Elevate are aggressive. So for Secret, it's like, do you try and dial the aggression up, force them into these fights? Maybe that slow-paced play style might not benefit them. They bring the blitz. We haven't seen a lot of that shield play.
Yeah.
So does Secret now amp up the pressure? Do they pick up the pace here in the 5th round?
We talked about shields a lot in the pre-show. It's taken up until this 5th round to actually see the blitz utilized. The fear in play as well for the impact util down below. This is to try and dissuade MC from Bandit tricking this single wall position. Concussion to follow.
He's not going to get it.
And a second, and so that wall will be opened by the attack.
Yeah, so change of attack here from Secret. Last time out, main breach. This time, VIP single. Oh, Savage, you should not be dying there in that scenario. Trying to push in towards Bar. It's a 5v2. It's an absolute slaughterfest again for the 2nd round in a row. Doom's just trying to find an angle, but the passiveness is going against him. And as soon as he does find someone, he looked away at the wrong time. Finally gets on the board with his opening kill of the game, but it's a 1v3. He requires 3 more to win the round. Elevate, though, have found 3 indeed. It's 3 on the scoreboard, and they take the lead.
Well, it was a player-led decision there to go for the blitz and to up the tempo in that round, but simply fell apart completely. Really good shutdown of the blitz. They didn't give him any space at all. And then from those positions, Secret trying to scramble, find the trade, get themselves into a position to get a bit of map control and maybe slow down the round back into their favor. Not given that window of opportunity. Elevate have really flicked the switch in the last couple of rounds, it must be said, playing really good counter siege at the moment. I
think they'd be quite disappointed with the opening 2 rounds from the perspective of Elevate. But for Secret now, 3 rounds in a row that they've dropped. Admittedly, it's skyscraper. They've already got 2 attacking rounds. They're pretty happy with that. I don't think it's a matter of like they're in a bad position by any means. I fully expect for Secret to be able to really lock down on defense on a map like Skyscraper against Elevate. But at the same time, you don't want to give your competition and arguably your inferior competition really that much headroom. If this goes 4-2 up, Elevate can build on that confidence going into that 2nd half, knowing they don't have much to lose, and all it takes is a couple of attacking rounds, and you can really put Secret on tilt. So a 3-2 lead. But suddenly this game has become very intriguing and interesting. For Secret, their attacks have looked really lackluster outside of the opening 2 rounds, which you could argue came down to the fact that Elevate were playing maybe far too aggressive, and it was a counter against them. Final round of this half, can Secret get this to a tied scoreline? And arguably, can they just get inside of the building and actually have some proper gunfights? They've lacked that ability in the last 2 rounds. And Ikel and Speakeasy, by the way, the front runners for Elevate. No surprise there when it comes to those 2 players respectively. We know we kind of talk about Speakeasy a lot, but then Ikel right behind him in terms of EPS for the stage. So when you've got your 2 best players firing, it's a really good sign for Elevate.
Secret bringing the Twitch for this round in the hands of Adrian, yet to find a kill. Early Nitro Cell elsewhere though, and Heikel trying to peel away on the defense here as Savage takes that ground.
Yeah, you mentioned Adrian, but on the flip side to my previous point about Elevate, Doom and Adrian, the 2 highest rated players on Secret, well, 1 and 5 and 0 and 5. So it's the complete reversal here. For Elevate, you've got your best players firing. For Secret, Well, it's been a horror show start for Doom and Adrian. Certainly made up by the fact that Virtue and Groovy have been playing well. But again, another opening pick for Elevate, and suddenly for Secret, it's like, well, what can we really do? Savage is low. He can't get too aggressive on that blitz. Drew Dragon at the moment. 90 seconds left, and Secret are getting stalled out here. I mean, this is actually some really solid defense from Elevate, but an overpeak from N-High-Cal, and he's shut down by Groovy. N-High-Cal on the ground. Savage down at 8 HP. That blitz is really not all that scary at the moment.
And still double nitro available here, so Savage in a lot of trouble, but it's the push forward to net that kill regardless. But a 2v2 trade. Groovy under so much pressure over towards Jump with a pistol out in hand, able to find the kill. And Ape, just like that, in a 1 versus 2, 22 HP, finds the kill.
It's a 1v1 with well over a minute remaining. He has information though. Knows that Groovy's towards Makeup, who's very low. Oh, the shot though, and Groovy seals the round for Secret. Huge round on an individual level. And it's certainly a round in which it was quite 50-50. Huge for Secret to get that one, because Elevate was staring down a 4-2 lead, all tied up at the half. Admittedly though, of course, Elevate on defense, Skyscraper 3-3, not enough. And you would be anticipating Secret should get the job done on the defense, but they're still going to play it out.
Well, for a match that has largely had very decisive one-sided rounds, that last round was anything but close to conclude the first half. Good clutch though, and a much needed one for Secret, just to give them an additional buffer heading into this second half defensively. Again, we are fully expecting them to be a very strong, compact defensive unit.
Well, what do Elevate need to do here? On a map they don't play all that often, finding attacking rounds. They're a good attacking team. They've certainly got firepower. The only team rated higher than better in terms of attack in the Asian League is Bleed by like 1%. They bring the blitz at the moment in terms of the attacker repick for Ape. Dockerby over to blitz. But it can't be just a rush in. Do you try and pick apart like a secret roam game? If you're going to extend over to like Office and Exhibition, do you just try and maybe go for the pinch, try and get control of Drum, or do you just go and play that standard? We're going to try and push them back, layered onion defense, get Office control, then get mezzanine control.
I think either approach would work.
Oh, okay. Roam clear down below. Nicely done from N-High-Cal. In through bedroom. Doom is 1-7. It is only Malusi. Should be another one found. Indeed it is. Savage losing his life on the Roam and the Legion, and really all this does is just now open up a huge potential for Elevate in the round, and a 5v3 start on an attacking round. A fourth round certainly is now begging. These are the rounds you must, though, now contain and win. You've got to be winning these sort of rounds. You're not going to get these many opportunities.
Well, to answer your question, I think Elevate should enter bottom floor on the other side of the map and net 2 free kills. Was not expecting that to play out.
Adrian still on the donut, by the way. 0-6, playing house stairs with a shotgun on the smoke. Not gonna lie, I mean, Secret look very susceptible right now in this match, and if they were playing maybe some of the more higher quality teams at this event, it could be a far different scoreline. Elevate, though, to their credit, at least getting pressure on said scoreboard and look to now try and retake the lead, go 4-3 up, provided they can close this round out. This is one thing that Elevate do very well, by the way, is even in Asia League, they don't just rush off of the start that they get. They will bring things back and almost treat it like it's a 5v5. Almost that reset mentality.
Yeah, I really like this from Shed, playing it safe. Backstairs, he'll take the diffuser. Adrian forced back.
No trade. Ooh, good shot from Shed, though, down the hallway and gets rid of Virtue. So Elevate using the numbers advantage to take these fights inside its hero, and they can get the plant down. Adrian with a bit of a flank through Black Stairs, but meted by the shield of the blitz. That gas babe's not going to do anything. The pistol from Ape and Elevate retake the lead, going 4-3 up, and it's an early attacking round, which is great for their inner confidence to say, look, we can do it. Can we do it 3 more times, though, and get the map win and really make this an upset day here at the Montreal Major?
With
time out.
Yeah, Secret will take their tactical time out, and I think rightly so. That last round, round number 7, established a 4-round streak for Elevate winning that opening duel. Round number 6, a little bit unfortunate perhaps to lose the 1 versus 1, and in doing so lose out the round. It was very chaotic. But you track back to 4 and 5, quite decisive, and the 7th round there as well. Quite one-sided.
I mean, credit to N-High-Cal on the entry as well, the Speakeasy too, clearing out through bedroom and in the end. I thought it was a really good entry from Elevate, because I think they're the kind of team that could come into a matchup like this and really stall out, play the exterior, play the balcony, look to try and get these picks. For them to just go straight in, clear out that roam from Secret, really nicely executed. But if you're Secret and you're having this timeout now, you sit back and go, guys, do we just play sight? Do we just force them to have to clear us instead of taking these contacts where we're almost giving them a far more favorable look?
Well, you talk about roaming on Skyscraper, more often than not, you're not adding the second dimension of playing on that first floor until maybe a late rotate into the round. We saw 2 super one-sided fights go the way of Elevate. Opposite side of that, bottom floor, a little bit more unconventional, as opposed to maybe trying to prevent entry over towards like a Samurai or a Terrace, etc. So I think maybe Secret in that last round were maybe just testing the waters a little bit and got caught out.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they've probably initiated this tactical timeout, just to refocus. And we'll see if it pays dividends. If you go to the tertiary side and you cast your mind back again to the first half, this is where Elevate actually started their momentum. They had a pretty poor start to this match. They headed over towards Kitchen for the 3rd round and then were able to find their footing. So we'll see if Secret can replicate that success.
So out of the tactical timeout for Secret, down 4-3. They started 2-0. If you're just tuning in, it's been a big turnaround for Elevate. Back in the lead after winning 3 rounds in a row earlier on in the opening half. And certainly in a best of 1, as they always are, it is winnable. And another upset could be on the cards. The Secret look to just nail down a little bit, but they got pressure. So through Dragon, heavy stack from Secret in tertiary site. And slow approach this time from N Haikal, expecting, of course, the more map-wide roam from Secret. And he does slow his approach after the fast entry in the previous round. It's more slow-paced here from Elevate, which is good. It's a good mix-up. It's not just, you know, one button and that's the go button. They've got the ability to play different styles of entry, and that's something that's going to keep Secret on their toes.
Elevate really have been spending the back end of this year developing their team identity and continuing to develop that. They had to grind incredibly hard to steal the spot off Bleed to make this major, and I'm sure they are very eager to convert this into a more fruitful opportunity, but Secret still standing in their way, and they find the opening pick in this round. Adrian able to find his 2nd in the match, and in fact finds 1 more. So MC unable to land that trade, which I'm a little bit perplexed as to how that was not found. The way though, Elevate now fighting from behind on a map that is notoriously difficult to enter, and all of that utility lying in front of them, making it even more of a challenge.
It's the first dominant round we've seen from Secret probably since the opening 2 rounds, guys, where it's just this one-sided. All the other ones have either been Elevate or certainly, you know, more close affairs. It's good for Adrian's self-confidence as well to find those 2 kills. Was 1 and 7 coming into the round. Arpe over to Blackstairs, should find 1. He will. Oh, a 2nd found as well, instantaneously. Now from 2-5 to 2-3. Still time on the clock, and Shed's got the kit. Tell you what, if Elevate find a way to win this round from here, that could be just about the mental chalk for Secret. They've got to be able to lock this one out.
Pantry delivery stack here from Secret, so maybe looking
this
to
drop
play retake.
It shouldn't work, and it doesn't work. And that's going to make it incredibly difficult now for Arpe, who needs to find the ace from here. Clutched around, Kit right in front of him, but he knows they've already rotated back up above, and Savage will put an end to this one. All tied up 4-4. Really solid round, though, from Secret. Certainly more of what we expect from them. That was the first opening kill as well that they've gotten since the 3rd round, guys. So it's been a while since we've seen that kind of dominance from Secret in this matchup. They take out the tertiary of Barbecue and Kitchen. And we are all tied up. But the one thing for Elevate right now is they're in the game at a pretty good point in the match. 4-4. They don't need much more from here to at least force OT, 2 more rounds. They're not having to play, you know, from behind. It's not like it's a 5-2 lead to Secret, for example.
Well, those at home can't see what I'm doing,
no,
Jake. But I am pointing.
You are pointing.
What am I pointing at?
The screen.
Take a guess. Well, what on the screen?
There's a lot on the screen. There's a clash.
Ah!
Is it? Oh, was that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the C word. It's the clash.
Oh, it's the clash.
We did talk about clash a little bit heading
We
into
did.
this matchup. The expectation being that we might see Secret bring it out, but we weren't necessarily expecting it, quote unquote. But we'll see it here for round number 9 and Savage.
Well, I
looking
like
to
the
hide
clash
it.
on Office and Exhibition as well. You can really kind of block that doorway in towards bar. You can play VIP, you can play stairs. There's Dragon side here. We can see the clash typically move over to there as well, kind of alongside VIP, but it's quite versatile.
We do see the repick, though, from MC onto Sophia.
We've got the Zero as well. 6 cameras now, of course, since the previous patch notes.
We've seen a little bit of Zero at this tournament. Not a mainstay, but
Saw
that
some Mozzie.
wasn't the expectation. Yeah.
We did kind of touch on it in the podcast as well about whether or not it would have an impact to the major. Ape will happily take the opening kill onto Savage, though. Bye-bye, Clash. I'm waving at the screen.
Are you pointing at the clash?
I was waving at the Clash. You guys can't see it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Clash.
Well, that's really quite disappointing for Secret.
Didn't even get to see it.
Clash is an incredibly clutch operator late in the round when manpower may be withered away from the attack, so losing that early could certainly hurt Secret.
I've loved the setup play from Elevate here on Skyscraper. Again, we haven't really seen them play this map. And it seems to me they've done their homework, as Enhaikal will take down Joom, who just cannot get into this game. In fact, Secret can't get into this round. They have absolutely been butchered on sight. This is a calculated attack from Elevate, leaving only 1 up. The only kill so far in the round has actually been from Elevate. Even the TK. They'll get 6 kills in this one and a 5-4 lead. What was that defense from Secret? That was awful.
As a wise man once said, they capitulated.
That was absolutely shocking defense. Secret very lucky they're not on the A stream right now, or they'll be copying it quite heavily. They are getting mauled 5-4 and Elevate now 2 rounds away from securing the biggest upset of the major so far.
And that's typically the kind of round, if you lose in that fashion, what you really want as a team and as a coach is a tactical timeout. They do not have their tactical timeout.
I didn't mind
so
when they took their initial one.
Yeah.
You just don't
That
get
wasn't my implication. More so being the fact that you lose a round in that kind of fashion, you lose your clash first and then get absolutely steamrolled.
Yeah, we
with
didn't get to
zero
see how the clash was lost, because quite honestly, like, how often do you see a clash as first death in a round? Very rarely.
Very rare.
Usually it's like the opposite, where it's like the last one up and the clash is just getting bullied by like 3 operators.
Yeah.
Okay, 5-4. Elevate have really shown their teeth in this matchup. Now it's up to Secret. What can they do to turn this around? They had themselves a really good stage in the European League, but straight up against APAC, and they're crumbling.
So the attack repick here onto the Glaz for round 10.
Glaz owes a Deimos combo.
Speakeasy can be self-proficient with the smokes in hand, but keep in mind, Virtue is on the Warden.
This window never gets peeked here. It's good. It's still a good sightline to cross in terms of denying the sight pressure here from Secret, but it's not like he's going to get a freebie. Does block the rotate back in, but yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see what the end of round execution is going to be here. If you've got that Glaz posted up, like, you're kind of 1 player down at the moment for Elevate and their ability to kind of get map control. So it's a very kind of like passive round. Ape losing the battle on the Deimos to Adrian, who's starting to really get involved in this game now after a 1-7 start. Secret will happily take that opening kill. It's not really been their strength in this matchup.
Yeah, Elevate have been able to flush out first floor, and so they have a bit of comfortability there. It can look to play off Vert, but losing the Deimos in the process, it's goes without saying, not a favorable trade. How can they try to get themselves back into this particular round? They still have the Osa and the Glaz combination. Could be a big win condition over towards backstairs. But again, with Virtue in play over Asia in a good position to likely deny that. Although has been caught in a corner here.
Let's see. Off the back of that EE1D, down to 14 HP, has 1 still remaining. Yet to see the Glaz involved, and this is how I'm starting to really question this decision from Elevate. They've been so good when their pace has been fast and they've been able to get these opening kills. They've slowed it down. Gasbabe, headshot though from Speakeasy, elects to continue to push forward. Still 60 seconds, a lot of time remaining through the F-Not mine, and still alive. And another one found on the Glaz. Not in the conventional sense when it comes to playing the glass. He's moving in as an entry attacker and he's finding success. And with that, Elevate now with the man advantage, but not too much time left in this round. They need to continue to keep this pace going.
How do they clear Virtue? Do they need to clear him in order to go for this particular
Two
plant
nitros
pattern?
up. That's a good long angle. Oh, this is so slow. I know you want to get that Talon Shield down and get control so that they can try and get this plant in towards Karaoke, but you've got 20 seconds left and you haven't cleared out the backside. All the Geisha still held. Drum, you've got 2 Nitro Cells. This is going to be very winnable for Secret.
Well, 15 seconds on the clock, and it's Groovy to find one. Equalizes the man count heading into the final portion here of the 10th round, and Virtue not cleared. Able to find a pick eventually. It's fallen apart from Elevate at the 11th hour here on this attack. They had a real opportunity to claim match point, but they flounder.
They don't have the map control. You have got no pressure on the mezzanine side or the backstairs. Like you've got black stairs and you want to try and get that Talon Shield down for the hallway control, try and get in towards Karaoke, but you haven't cleared out Geisha. Where's the pressure on the Geisha bulk? Why are you not putting pressure on that side of the map? You're just way too one-dimensional there from Elevate. Secret just don't have to do anything in that position, and we saw that evidently at the end of that round. 5-5. Elevate with a chance, because of that double kill push in from Speakeasy, but because there was so little time in the round remaining, they didn't have time to rotate over, Geisha Balg, try and put pressure on, clear them out, and in the end, it's a pretty easy defense for Secret. They get away with one there, considering the mid-round was starting to go back Elevate's way, but they stalled themselves out.
So break point then here for both of these rosters. Opening match here at the Montreal Major. Elevate had a good run to the mid portion, but Secret not going down without a fight. We talked a little bit prior in this matchup in terms of that opening kill conversion, and that trend has very much held true in the second half. Every single round in which the team has gotten that opening pick, they have gone on to win the round. So keep that in mind as this progresses.
A lot of these opening kills as well have been very early into these rounds. 222, 206, 239, 230, 212, and even the ones that haven't, been in the twos are pretty high in the ones as well. 150, 155, etc. So we're seeing a lot of these early deaths in these rounds, and then a bit of a slowdown after that. 5-5. A real opportunity for Elevate. For Secret, it's all about just getting out of this best of one with a win. Doesn't matter if it's 7-5 in the long run, that's irrelevant. It's not about how much you win by in this scenario. It's just do not lose to Elevate. Don't lose to APAC. But Upbay entry in through Drum is successful. The kill onto Adrian. Oh. The running Mozzie from Savage. He's still alive, holds the close angle. Expecting it is Upbay though with the pistol. He's found his 13th kill, and with that, Elevate with a 5 versus 3 lead. In the 11th round, seeking match point. Virtue struggling to find information that has been found. But Groovy, another big kill, and suddenly he is the one standing up for Secret. Virtue as well. These two have been so important for Secret. 3 versus 3 now. Deep into this 11th round.
Yeah, the drone economy from Elevate is quite strong, but still not having a read on these players up above, which need to be contested. Vertical control
Headshot.
to win this round for the defense.
Oh my goodness. And Haikal sharp with the Deimos. 1 death mark still remaining as well. 5 canisters, and it's the entry into kitchen here from Speakeasy off the back of that smoke going out, trying to make sure that he can't just respawn for free. Now they know that at the very least one is still up. No! Shot from Shed! Virtue, the only one left. He does find a kill. 2 more remaining, but the plant has successfully gone down. And the death mark now on his position. So difficult for Virtue. The drop now confirmed in towards Sushi. And Haikal knows this because of the death mark. Trying to follow up Shed onto the exterior. There's not a lot that Virtue can do. Ape already celebrating, but it's only match point on the other side of the round. Does he vault the window? Does he go for the long arm of the law hold? Virtue trying to get into position. 15 seconds. Does he stick it? No, immediately off and sprayed down. And Haikal, Elevate, match point over Secret. Oh.
Okay.
What a round and what a game. Reddit's going to lose their shit, by the way.
This was not what I was expecting heading into this match.
If Elevate win this, as soon as that thread goes up, oh my god. North America, what, 0-4 at the major? Europe losing to APAC.
Oh. Goodness me. It's all happening.
It's all happening. Well, look, more to go in this one.
Look, but in that previous round, Secret, I don't think they had the worst idea there, holding double vert up above, looking to deny plant, and we saw it just completely fumbled from above. The smoke made it a little bit challenging.
Shotgun reload.
Super shorty, not reloaded. Everything that could go wrong went wrong there for Secret. And Heikel, who had a bit of a hot and cold start to this matchup with a massive kill T, and then the death mark late, getting really good value from the Deimos. That was good siege from Elevate.
Ape has just been sensational, by the way. I know in the first half we were talking about Speakeasy and Heikel, but Ape is 3-2 on the entry, so he's been involved in quite a lot of these early fights. 3-2 there, +6 in terms of KD. He's got the highest EPS inside of the server, 82% cost. So all the big gunners for Elevate firing. Three players on double digits, Ape, Speakeasy, and Heikel. And really, people might look at Shed and be like, oh, Shed's quiet. This is Shed's role. He's that supportive player for Elevate. On the flip side, and already mentioned and touched on it in the first half, but the Secret, your top gunners in Doom and Adrian are having an absolute stinker. Match point, Elevate. Can you close this out and get yourself the biggest win of the major so far in terms of upset? And there's already been quite a few upsets. Death marker out immediately from Ape onto Doom. Oh, straight up Black Stairs though, and N.I. Cal cannot find success. Big kill for Doom. And a big start to the round for Secret. But a shot back, Ape. He'll happily take that at 14. Found an almost a headshot angle. Oh my goodness, slowed things down a little bit, Savage. Almost lost his life.
Yeah, Ape's looked incredibly sharp. We see it from time to time in Asia League, but finding a new here on LAN. So 4 versus 4, 2 minutes on the clock, and things stabilizing somewhat. The Ash trade for the Legion, in some respects, goes the way of the attack. But we've seen Heikel late round his proficiency be quite strong, so we'll see how this one plays out. MC takes a lick of damage.
I like the Geisha control still for Secret, though. It's something that Elevate haven't really been able to deal with in this matchup. So they haven't been able to clear Geisha very well, if at all. Speakeasy. Oh, he just spotted him, but he had the crossbow out. If he had the gun out, he would have got the kill. And with Secret now in certainly the best position to send this to overtime, and they will. Secret hold strong. 6-6, and this one needs overtime.
The ult chat's been popping off in this match.
I love the ult chat though, yeah, it's great.
That round was, a little bit peculiar there from Elevate. We saw multiple players running straight into 2 or 3 player crossfires established by defense with no read. So I don't know what the play there was from Elevate. They were maybe just trying to out-tempo the defense without info. And yeah, clearly they were punished by a Team Secret roster ready and raring to go there to push this match to OT.
Opening pick conversion as well, second half, 100% success rate for both teams. In the first half, though, it was 50%. So a big change up there in terms of that second half. Double defense, by the way, for Secret, which on this map, that's kind of what you want. So they've been able to avoid one match point scenario. Can they now confirm this map for themselves and just scrape by this Elevate roster? Or can Elevate continue to try and steal this map to begin phase 2 for both of these two teams? T-Room and Karaoke, no surprise, set up towards Drum. It really does feel like if Elevate don't walk in and get this opening pick, an Alpay or an Heikel, kind of go and find a double, that if it's that 5 versus 5 setup defense versus setup attack, Secret have certainly had the better of them in those scenarios. So for Secret, it's like, just don't throw your life away in the first portion of this round. Let's play things slow, then we can build up from there.
Yeah, last time we saw Secret win this out, we saw the late round standoff, the failure to clear Virtue, etc., which compounded. But a lot of that was because they went for the Osa set play over towards backstairs. This time, though, bringing a slightly different composition, indicative that we'll see more pressure Geisha, maybe more of a map clear and presence.
And no glides.
Yeah, over on the other side of the map, and taking the glass out of the equation then maybe minimizes the impact that Virtue can have playing into smokes. So quite a different approach here from...
There's that opening pick.
Yeah, different approach from the attack, but same end result for the opening pick going the way of Secret. If the trend continues that has been established, Secret now in a really strong position.
And no surprise, Doom and Adrian finally starting to get involved. In fact, they are the only ones that have gotten opening kills for Secret since the opening half. It's been Adrian and Doom. And they're the ones that struggled immensely. Both at one point, they were 1-7. So starting to get involved. So for Elevate, the longer this game has gone on, they're allowing their opposition to kind of start to build that form. They really needed to probably close this one out in regulation. I do fear for them now. Starting to make some mistakes, and Enhaikal's going to fall. Sloppy push in as well from Ape. Not fully ready either with the ADS. They have immensely struggled in dealing with Geisha. It shouldn't be that complex. Like, this is one of the more simplistic parts of the map to deal with. Enhaikal did get brought back up, by the way, but this slow tempo is favoring Secret.
Need to try and flush out Virtue. Some support to come through, or at least
I don't know how they're going to do it as well.
But
And he's on the warden too, so it's not as simple as just flash him out and deal with him. You need pressure down below. You need pressure on the balcony, but there's only 60 seconds left. The movement here from Elevate. Guys, I'm not seeing enough movement. Start to make some pressure happen. It's all too easy for Virtue, though. Does get the kill onto Enhaikal. He's played that position far too often to know the double push is going to come through. And he dealt with it swiftly. Ape just sending it. And while he did find a kill, and so did MC, it's now a 1v3 for MC, and Secret will find themselves 7-6 up. And they will now find themselves with match point.
very rough round there for Elevate. Virtue doing a phenomenal job in locking down over towards Geisha. And even with the pivot that we saw from the attack, unable to dislodge him. And with 15 seconds on the clock, the fate of MC all but sealed. Finds one. It is clean, but only 9 HP. No time. Oh, Secret. Surely you don't throw it away from here. No. Groovy able to dash back across, find the kill, and in doing so, claim match point. And
this is the APAC that we see so often where people get kind of frustrated where they're like, oh, they're always so close and then they always fall. And it's like they need to take that next step. This, you know, the region as a whole needs to take that next step. Technical pause, by the way. 6-7, and Secret will get their first match point of this particular game.
Do we maybe see a tech pause into a tactical? Elevate still have theirs in pocket, surely, at this point in time.
Surely you have to, right? Well, they can get to kind of like look over the strats during the tech pause, then talk about it during the tac pause. That's my mindset. I think that's probably the way you would go about it. Nostradamus over here. It will be a tech into attack, by the way. But
yeah, spoiler alert. You viewers at home can't say just yet until now.
Oh, sorry. I spoiled the fact it's a tactical timeout. That's it. Turn the stream off. It's all ruined.
We don't know who's going to win the match, though. We can't spoil that yet.
Well, I think the intriguing thing for me about Secret, right, looking to try and find the positives, because it's very easy to nitpick a team with so much expectations and really should be beating Elevate in certainly a far more convincing fashion, but it's Groovy and Virtue for me. Like, it's very easy to kind of just look at this and be like, oh my god, Secret, you know, how did you allow this to get so close? But it's like, hey, if Groovy and Virtue can play like this, and then in other matches you kind of get a more, you know, to the median from Doom and Adrian, well then certainly you've been able to find other guys on the roster that can get it done. I mean, those are the positives. As a team, Secret just have enough firepower that it's like, okay, our top fraggers, our top players, top EPS performers haven't quite showed up in this game, but others stood up. Whereas for Elevate, it's actually the complete opposite. They've had exactly what they've wanted in this game. Ape, Enhaikal, Speakeasy, all fragging, all involved. Shed's the support player. He's not expected to go and frag out. And even MC's on double digits. There's not much more to Elevate that you can go post-game here and say, oh, they can actually do more. We've kind of gotten Elevate. I don't think there's a higher level to them. I think this is probably their highest level, to be completely honest. And if Secret were just a tiny bit more off, maybe they lose this game, and that's a huge result for Elevate. But you know there's more to Secret than what we've gotten out of this game.
Yeah, I think as the Swiss format progresses, I'm really intrigued to see how this performance benchmarks against other maps in the pool for Elevate. Because I think we set the expectation pretty well in the pre-show that this is a map that they pretty frequently ban out, right? They're not massive fans of Skyscraper historically, at least throughout 2024. And so
it's a better map for Secret than it is for Elevate. I think that's...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So to push Secret, one of the best teams from EU to OT.
This is the only map all stage long in Europe that Secret did not ban, even once. Whereas for Elevate, they just don't play it. They ban it. Either way, overtime match point. Secret were down 6-5. They've won the last 2 rounds, though, to subvert the first match point for Elevate and now get their own overtime match point. Ever the story for APAC. So close yet so far, and we're all just a bit tired of it now. They've got to try and get the job done. Certainly was winnable in regulation, failed to do so. Still, now on defense, a good opportunity to at least get this to 7-7. Opening kills in this entire second half, including overtime, though, well, they've resulted in a round win. 100% strike rate. But a slow approach here from Secret. Maybe anticipating Elevate to try and get aggressive, see if they can catch them off, and already Geisha control for Virtue.
Yeah, may have been expecting a bit of a tempo shift here off the back of the tactical timeout, but not really coming into fruition. There was information on the fringe as well, and so Secret dealing with that. The IQ proving very effective, so Groovy not only finding kills up to 15, equal with Arpe, funnily enough, on the opposing side, but also able to identify his info gathering tools. Shed up close. Shield taken down.
This is a tough spot for Shed. He's going to have to be very strong in his positioning. You know, there's not a lot of time left. Now you're fully expecting that push to come through here. He wants to try and peek it, see if he can get on the advantage. Pulls a shotgun out, knowing one. He should know there's one close. He's done a decent job of at least still containing this for as long as possible.
Just think about time. Only 50 seconds to go, and Elevate have gotten the opening pick. This is pretty much perfect for them at the moment.
Drum control for Groovy, but they don't have Dragon control, so it's not full map wide right now for Secret. Very one-dimensional. This is actually a really good hold from Elevate. Secret need to push together. They need to group up and try and clear out Dragon, which is double stacked by Elevate. I mean, Groovy's just going to try and go for the walkthrough. Hello? Yes, it's APAC, but that's just not going to work. And with this now positioned for Elevate, they should be able to close this out. June does get a big pick onto N-High-Cal. There is one close by to the park. Surely Speakeasy can hold out here and lounge the drop shot, and that's the kit on the floor. This one is shaping to go the distance unless something crazy happens. Doom, another one. He's got up to 8, but he's back onto the floor. Virtue in a 1v3. With 6 seconds remaining, there's no time, no chance, and we will go the distance here. All 15 rounds are required as Elevate will defend. Ooh. Okay. I didn't quite have an 8-7 on this matchup on my bingo card. I thought it would be 7-2 to Secret. I'm pretty far off the pace.
It continues the trend of this first round of Swiss being incredibly competitive. With all kinds of mix-ups in terms of region v region, it has been very tight. So props to the seeding team for that. But a good round there from Elevate. They kept it very standard. They didn't go for an overly aggressive roam over towards T, but we saw the key power positions held really, really well. Shed doesn't necessarily get a stat in that round on the Warden, and continues as the lowest fragging player in the server, but he didn't give away his life. He had the presence of the Warden and applied so much pressure there. It forced the terrace push, which was locked down by Speakeasy, so he played his position well. Those two had big impact in that previous round, alongside the backline for not forfeiting too much control or positioning either. And so it was just really clean across the board there. The unfortunate thing, though, for Elevate now heading into the 15th and final round is they will rotate back to attack.
They will. They did win this particular site in the second half, Elevate, but it was the round in which we saw the clash pick from Savage, and he lost his life really early in the round. So it was a 5v4 essentially from the go, and when you select the clash, it's a big part of what you want to do in the round. And so Elevate were able to get that pick and then subsequently go on and win the round. We're still at that 100% opening kill to round conversion since the 7th round. Now we're into the 15th one. Will that continue? Does the opening pick tell the full story in this round? It would be very APAC, though, for
Elevate to
get the opening pick but lose the round at this point. Yes.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Well, do we find another upset, or can Secret subvert expectations here and close this one out? Either way, it's been a fascinating map and continues to be so far a fascinating major. Certainly to begin the Swiss stage here for Phase 2. Full of entertainment. Joom, the run out, unsuccessful. There was an earlier round, though, where one was found from that position. Slow approach at the moment from Elevate. Maybe this time wanting to clear out Geisha, but pressure through makeup in towards Drum. Maybe hoping that someone from Secret will just step out of position. And Haikel, Groovy on the other side in towards Geisha. This is a good angle, but he has to be patient. But can only be patient for so long with that clock ticking down.
Yeah, Elevate have MC playing the Shrine Cross, but I don't know if there's enough pressure to actually force this defense back to the objective just yet. Maybe if they're able to apply pressure more directly, they'll draw them out. Shed is outside main breach with Diffuser.
Do they even know that Groovy's inside a geisha? Still well over a minute left. Just feels like it's going to come down to timing there. Van Heikel just holds that angle even 1 second earlier. He probably gets that kill. You got to think as well, at any moment, Groovy could be aggressive towards Geisha. Good tag from Speakeasy on to Adrian, but up close the swing from Savage. Ape, though, he'll happily just take stairs into VIP. Loses his life. There is that push from Groovy, like I mentioned, though. They'd never cleared his position out. Suddenly, 2 on to 3. All the advantage with Secret, and with Shed losing his life and following him is MC. Secret will close it out 8-7, and they clear the APAC hurdle, certainly in style. Maybe not quite the scoreline that they would have anticipated, but still the result that